All right, Shayna Rose, back in business.
Back at it, babe.
Here we go. We were talking today about some of the things that we hear interior designers say as they start working with us or start looking for support. These are things that are totally relatable. You're not wrong if you're feeling this way, but they bring up a slight red flag for us in terms of what kind of client you're going to be and what realistic expectations you may need before we get going.
Some reality checks headed your way.
Reality
with
checks.
all of the purest intentions.
All the love in our
and
hearts.
love.
Okay, so if you start to feel a little bit challenged by some of these things, if it starts to give you a little bit of a, is she talking to me sensation?
Put your gloves
Simmer
up.
down.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Simmer down.
Pose up.
Bring down the walls. This is for you. These are the things that we've learned that with a good talking to, we
Yeah.
can get those expectations set right and we'll get back in business.
Yeah, listen, I needed this talking to probably many a times before.
Many a time.
Many times.
All right,
Hit us
so
with
let's
the
start
first one,
thinking
Ev.
about this. I would say the first one,
Yes.
again, we hear it all the time. There's nothing wrong with the thought process. It's just what lies underneath. How about I just want out of my business? I don't want to be involved. Take it away. Take it away from me.
Great one. Wouldn't we all, for the love, like to
Mhm.
just walk away and let it go? I mean, yeah, that's what we're in it for. But you better buckle up, baby. It's like at minimum 7 years until, I mean, I don't know, I haven't even gotten there yet myself. So what
Buckle
am I
your
saying?
boots. You're
What am I
on the path
saying?
with us.
No,
All right.
I
So
mean,
if you're there, that's where you're at.
Right.
I'm overwhelmed or I'm burned out or I just want this team so that you can do it for me.
ooh,
I
I
just
have
want
another
out.
one. On
Okay.
top of that one,
Mhm.
like if you could just plug in a team and I never would have to worry about hiring or overturn or you're burned out, baby. You've probably been in the game for a long time.
Yep.
You know, unless you have these main pillars of business built, it's just simply not going to happen
Right.
without you.
Right.
I mean, there's no way around it. We can
Yep.
map it out for you.
You're the conductor of this train. Choo choo.
Yeah, cuckoo choo. We can map it out. We can give you a timeline. We
Mhm.
can tell you a quantity of hours.
Mhm.
We can tell you how much time you need to invest into
We
it.
can get the most tedious tasks off your
Oh.
plate. We can get leadership involved so that you don't have to make all the decisions anymore. But can we truly take your hands off the wheel for good?
Nope.
Nope.
Not
With
gonna
love?
happen.
No.
With
Reset
love,
that
sorry.
expectation.
No. But if you want it, you know, we can definitely obtain that. We're pulling you out though, 80% tops. That's it.
80% tops.
Sorry,
I love that. You're
80%.
always going to, I mean, for most of you, your name is probably on the business. You know, you are that principal designer that clients are getting to know. Like, realistic expectations are the key to happiness. You're going to be part of this. You're going to
Yeah.
be involved if you want it to be successful, if you want it to work, if you want it to really create that thriving sense that you're looking for. Don't expect it to happen completely without you.
And guess what? It is not happening without that written, documented, 80 to 100 page written system of procedure, which is the business. We've talked about this on multiple different episodes. That's why people buy franchises. That's what you need if you are going to sell your business. It is the law. It is the protocols. It is the step-by-step guide, whether you're growing, overturning, where someone can step in. You need that. Sorry, you're not pulling yourself out even at 80% until you get there. And it's got to be documented. And then that thing evolves as you grow, depending on what your end goal is for revenue or team growth or whatever that end goal is. Until you've built that whole thing, that thing is taking an evolution throughout as it goes. So realistically, you're probably in at 30%, 70% you can delegate until you have built the entire foundation. Then fine, sure, call it 20. Even very hard at that. There's a lot of coaching, and depending on the timeline, you have got a lot of training and development to do. So It's
Yeah.
just, it's not that
And I don't
easy.
want to scare anybody because, let's go to like what's probably underlying that. I just want out. Cool. What's coming out of your mouth might be, I just want out. But what's inside is probably, I need to feel less stressed. I need more balance. God, I need a minute back in my day. We can get you there. So, all
Mm-hmm.
of those feelings that you're looking for with the right support, with the right team, even at 20%, it can feel that way. But the reality and what's coming out of your mouth, we just want to check a little bit and
Yeah.
say, you're still going to be in it. It's just going to feel different because you're going to have the right support around you.
And here's the change that happens when you start pivoting to focus on your foundation. You have to carve out time in your day consistently every single week to work on your foundation, and then set boundaries and rules for yourself. And the biggest trigger point and switch is changing, you telling that client you're going to have this thing for them the next day or in 2 days. We all do it. It's the worst thing. I was talking to someone this week about it. It's like, why do we do it to ourselves? You've got to change that. You're a business. No one has that quick, fast response time like that. It's normative to say, hey, this phase takes about 2 weeks, or it's going to be about 2 weeks until we meet and we put your proposal together and we can align the level of service, and give yourself time. Because if you're developing foundation and delegating at the same time, things can't move that fast. Or here, we're going to
This is so
they get
up,
you know,
but I love
like they get fucked up. No, it's totally rich, because I'm gonna let Evelyn go on event search.
No,
You get 30 seconds.
I'm loving hearing this coming out
I
of your
do it
mouth because
too.
it sounds like me talking to you sometimes.
I know,
But it's
know it.
it's
A lot of
it's,
coach. Yes,
it's
yes.
all up
I
there.
did it to
I love it.
myself last week. I kicked myself for literally telling someone I'd have something the next day. I did realign expectations. So lesson learned: if you screw up, you can still realign the expectation and be like, sorry, I know I said I was going to get this to you at this point, but in actuality, I don't know what I was thinking. And I really need, 4 days until I can return this back to you. I just didn't want you sitting there waiting. It's the sitting there waiting. It's the just confront them, communicate. It's okay. Humans are humans. They totally understand, as long as someone's not on some crazy deadline, of course, that you're like, that's the whole kind of goal of the project. Sure, there's always grace. But reality is we should be setting realistic expectations, giving ourselves more time to not cause the chaos ourselves. I find a lot of times owner chaos is caused by ourselves. And this probably leads to one of these points that we're going to talk about, which is where the finger is supposed to go.
Right.
It's probably funny when you're saying that.
I mean, put it where you want it, Shay, but that's not part of this conversation.
Let's talk about where the finger goes, people. Let's talk about
next one that we hear. Red flag. Got to talk about it. Is the business owner that I hear saying a lot of the time, so-and-so did this. They did it wrong. She messed up. But always with that third person blame game in a sense. And the facts could be totally true. She did attach the wrong attachment to the email, or they did forget. I'm not saying that in your business owner brain, it's not totally true and frustrating, and it comes from a super genuine place of wanting to provide the best services to your client. Yes, we hear you, we understand you, we love you.
Training is so frustrating. Honestly, I tapped out this year, right or wrong. Right. Actually, you tapped me out because everyone was like, ding, ding, you're out. Okay, we don't need to be doing this anymore. It was flipping me out. I don't have the patience. I don't have the calm to slowly, I've got the business owner brain. We're coaching. It makes sense to you right in the second. We're flying. We're moving. Usually owners like that super speed pace. Well, that's what I like working at. You can't train in super speed. Some people, it takes that 3 rounds. I mean, Evelyn, you are just like an amazing trainer. You have the patience of a saint, I feel like. Honestly, patience of an absolute saint, You have this crazy superpower to like identify someone like, okay, remember, she's someone who needs this, like, let me show it. let me do it. Let's meet again, reiterate. And then she's great,
Right.
versus this, people do learn differently. And it's not to
Mm-hmm.
put their skills down. It's
Right.
not to say they're worse than this person.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not at all. Because as long as they're consistent, they're a rock. They just need a great leader to perform. And that's the hard part is
Right.
we're trying to craft really good leaders and work on the foundation of the business, but
Yep.
then also help our assistants to succeed.
Yep.
And I would like to say, I hope that you agree with this,
Mm-hmm.
that I always take my finger and point it up, regardless.
Totally. Totally.
When some,
Almost to a fault, where
almost to a
sometimes
fault.
I have to remind you, like, no, Shay, we told them that. No.
Yeah.
Like,
So
like,
true. You
but
do
I
step
love that
in.
that is the first thought is like, how could I have trained better or not trained at all
Yeah.
and given them someone else that could have helped them? Or how could I have provided the template or made it easier or
Yeah.
talk,
If
whatever the
anyone
organizational
knows,
system of the files so that the wrong attachment wasn't there. Like, you're always
yeah.
thinking first about the systems and you
Yeah.
and the leadership.
Uh,
And then certainly sometimes it becomes, no, she made an error. She
yeah.
did this. But as a leader, if you find yourself saying they, she, my assistant, a lot, take a deep breath and at
Right.
least consider where some of those are an I didn't give her what she needed, or I could have better set that expectation, or
I didn't
I hadn't
write it
clarified.
down. Yeah, I didn't write it down and
Mm-hmm.
implement it into a document
Mm-hmm.
so it could be referenced and repeated.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, not to cut Evelyn off, but I was
Sorry.
gonna say that if anyone's wondering who puts their foot down the firmest in this company, it's Evelyn. Because I always am like she said, to a fault, and I do think that makes a good leader,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're that leader who's always me, and, doing all these things to point up and then look down,
Mm-hmm.
you also need to not be that people pleaser, which sometimes crosses over into working with your clients. And I more so see the people pleasing working on the client side.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a reverse issue for some people, actually. It's the complete opposite issue where they'll always, you have to point the finger up first. It doesn't mean the finger never goes down.
100%.
And so that's where you need to go up first, evaluate, did I give them the tools? They maybe didn't understand, need to jump on a call or pass that coaching call for someone else who has the patience to train, comprehend, make sure that we don't make that mistake again, right? The first time it's not a mistake, it's a lesson learned. The second time it really is a mistake. And that's what written protocol is about. Look at the written protocol and see where it faltered and enhance. And then you keep going down the train. It happens again. Then it's kind of like that 3 strikes, you're out rule. Then it
Right.
is coming from that person down. But up first,
Yep.
evaluate up there, then point down, coach, provide the tools, and then we track.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a one time? One time is no big deal. That comes down to your procedure. Is it a repeat? After we have talked about the initial mistake, then maybe you didn't fully understand. Now reverse the script. Don't talk on that call. Tell them to tell you what was supposed to happen and where the fault came from. And you'll find out in that conversation with them sharing where it went wrong. Happens again, they need to be replaced. Simply said, there is that, we have our protocol where we call it that green, yellow, red kind of conversational journey to track. But the reality is if you're really that person who's thinking, is it them? Is it me? Is it them? Is it me? Is it the same issue or is it different issues? Because this industry has so many hats. Again, thinking
Mm-hmm.
about 80 to 100 pages of
Right.
documented procedure.
Mm-hmm.
It is a novel,
And here's the thing too, these designers, the she, they, whatever it is, designers, I actually think we could say the exact same thing about clients. How many times is it, well, my client shopped me, or my client's adding scope, or my client's doing this, and it's like, okay, well, did you go
You
over the
lost control.
contract in
No.
detail with them?
Yeah.
Did you outline? Like, it's the same kind of conversation. And I just think it bears this moment to say, it's okay. But if you find yourself being this kind of reactive or person that might be quick to blame, here's what we really think you need to hear, which is reflect a moment first.
Yeah. If you're not staying consistent, they're not staying consistent. It starts with the leader. That is what it is, you know? So you do have to think about that. It's a hard one. It's a hard reality to really look inwards and be like, it's me, you know?
Right.
And then great. You know, the second you kind of identify that you might be the bottleneck to the problem, that is the easiest thing to fix. The hardest thing to start, but the easiest thing to fix. And this could
That's
be
so
a different.
well said. I love that. That was very
Thank
articulate.
you. Now, this might be a totally different episode, but this is something that I'm doing with a lot of my clients right now is as we're starting to enter into the new year, you know, if you are realizing that's you, then you need to create a routine that you're going to consistently show up to no matter what. And there's 3 main buckets of this routine. There's self, there's business, and then there's family. If you have family yet. If not, then go dating, you know, like that's fun. But so 3 main buckets. And that needs to be a commitment that you genuinely make to yourself. You show up for yourself, you're going to feel good. That's going to start translating through your day. You establish your routine inside of your business. You're going to show up for your team is going to show up for you. And inside of that routine comes business affiliate networking, blocking working time to get your projects organized, and yes, meetings with your team inside of that. And there's different strategies for those meetings depending on where you are. And then family, right? You show up for them, then full circle moment. There's a happier home, you establish some boundaries. And if you feel like it's you, then you got to make a change and everything else will fall through. I promise you, I nearly want to like do some show where we get commitments in and like you send in your routine and your commitments. And I know if you lock into that, and we're talking about doing something next year to commit more to you guys. So that's more to come. But I guarantee 3 months, we do a check-in. What you would feel yourself would be different. 6 months, you know, every quarter, if we did a check-in, I know by the end of that year, you yourself would be feeling good. Your business would be thriving. Family would be good if we really make those commitments to lead in all the lanes of our life because we have that control.
Preach. I hope someone is watching this on YouTube, just watching me nod so enthusiastically, like, I was about to do the John Legend, like, hand on the voice, you know, and you really like someone, like, we'll just clip all of that for you guys to listen to on repeat each morning as you get ready for your day. Thank you for the wisdom, Shayna. I couldn't agree more.
No worries. Hit us with another tough love moment.
Another one. Okay. This one I think relates a little bit more to what I hear on my day-to-day, but Shay, you know it well as well, which is like, okay, I'm ready for marketing support. How do I turn it into lead gen tomorrow? What's my fastest result? I need jobs right now. Cricket.
Dear
Like, yes, I hear you.
I felt that. I spent $20,000 for a 3-month contract. I got sold a bill of goods back then. Me and Evelyn toasted. Yeah, we had that same thought. It was a little bit greedy, honestly, at that time. Like, we were doing totally fine. We're just like, let's do more.
Let's shortcut the whole journey. That sounds great.
Yeah, let's trust this other business entity that knows nothing about interior design. And let's take this spreadsheet. And even if we do 3% of these sales, killing it. Yeah, $0 freaking later. $20,000 blown in 3 months. It is not happening.
And don't take this as marketing doesn't work or we can't help you and really create that funnel and get business trickling in through that. But it is a journey. It is a long game. It requires consistency. It requires both technical and creative brain power.
And here's another one. It requires you. Oh my God. What an absolute shock. I'm over here just in disbelief. It takes you. Holy cow.
Back together, people.
Get your hustle game on. You got to love it. I mean, going back to collecting the business cards.
I know.
You know,
I mean, to be fair, though, you don't have to love it. It will be more enjoyable for you
I
if you
don't
do, but
care.
you don't
Learn
have
to
to.
love it, or
Yeah.
else you're just gonna have a miser. I mean, don't be in business. Honestly, I feel like at that point, tough love. Like you've
Mhm.
got to network, get uncomfortable. That's when you grow. 1 year of committing to networking weekly, 30-minute block on the calendar. I am going to email 2 possible business affiliates, or I'm going to be tracking
Mhm.
people that I'm looking to build a partnership with. A relationship takes a whole year to build. 1 whole year, people. You want to lose weight? You want to get a six-pack? A year. You want to build out a system of procedure? A year. You want to make a relationship and do
A
partnerships?
year.
A year. Come on, people, get with it. It
Right.
takes time, hustle, commitment. It's not easy. If
Mhm.
you just show up, and I said this to someone else, business owners are expected to show up 100%. I think that's just like in work in general, not even just the owner.
Mhm.
It's like
No,
in the
that is.
workforce, there's just like you have to show up and perform at 100%. It's not realistic. You've got life, you've got uncontrollables, you got variables,
Mhm.
but even when you're having the worst day ever, if you just show up inside of your routine, 70%, you've hit a 70%. You're going to have days at 100, all the way in between. You're averaging B plus. That's freaking great. You know, B plus to just show up inside of your routine and know that you're going to look better, feel better. Your business is going to have foundation and support. You're going to be delegating more. Any of you committed to your family and your spouse or what your relationship, whatever it is, I promise you, you will be sending us emails 1 year next year being like, thank you for that tough love.
Mhm.
Thank you, because it was me and I do need to show up. And it's that stupid line, if it was easy, everyone would be successful. Like, it's silly, but it's the truth. It's hard
Mhm.
to show up every
As
single
Shayna would
day.
say, the truth
No
is the truth.
excuses. The truth is the freaking truth, people. It
That's her
just is.
mantra.
The truth is the truth. I always like, like there's no way around it. The
Right.
truth is the freaking truth. Look
Mhm.
around you. It
Right.
is hard to grow large, successful businesses. It's even hard to grow a small operating, seamless business. It's very different from one to many. Everything changes. Everything that you thought you knew, you have to change the way you're thinking about it,
Mhm.
because you are the smartest piece of technology. Another one you'll never have to buy. You will never have to buy yourself and your brain. You will take shortcuts. You will be efficient. Proprietary information will live in your brain. The thoughts. I mean, I still sometimes do this where I realize, wow, that was all in my headspace. But of course she didn't succeed because I didn't specifically share it. I got there and I gained clarity, and it is so freaking clear in my brain. But oops, didn't exactly share the weeds, spend the time, document it down, review it to review their comprehension, which always requires enhancement and clarification to make it make sense. And then we push past it. It's a slowdown. It's slower than you want to move. I totally get it. And you got to have someone to slow you down sometimes. Evelyn's my girl for that. Like, reality check. Like, you're joking. It's been 2 days, right? Like, what? And I'm like, oh, well, in my brain, it's been 2 weeks. I understand it's only been 2 days. Just give me a date, then I will not ask you about it until this date. It's challenging when you as the owner have this very clear vision and idea in your head, and in your head it's done. Like, that's kind of how it happens for me.
Yeah.
In my head,
Right.
it's done. Once I've workshop it through, and these are the ways, and we've spent countless hours thinking it through and working around the problems, it's done. Okay, we are so far from done, but in my brain, again, I just want to be done. Nope.
Yep.
It's
That kind of brings me to
tiresome.
another one. Like, that you hear this, it's like, I know I said that before. It's like, yeah, you did. You said that before, and it needs to make its way to its system and procedures. Your team needs to hear that. Your team needs to implement that. The next opportunity for them to show you that they heard that and are implementing that needs to come. Like, yes, you've said it before. That is step one on a chain of steps that get you to the point where now you're feeling it in your operations day to day. So yeah, I totally relate to that in the way that I'm hearing designers talk about their team and how they want things to run. There is going to be that trickle from the moment that you decide or figure out exactly how it needs to go to the next time that it actually goes that way. And you can say like either, yep, that was the solve, or oops, a little bit of a tweak still needed based on XYZ thing. It's a journey.
Yeah. I mean, this whole year we've been building and carving out leadership at the top. The whole freaking year. And we're only at 80% done. But I'm excited because I can see the horizon of the completion. All the roles are in, they're executing their roles. It's just further refining, and that refine, enhance before I really feel like, okay, we can step back and now triple the company, because we have that true leadership stacked with all the supportive roles underneath. That felt like a very challenging year, knowing what
Sorry for the scoff. It just escaped.
yeah. I feel that, I'm sure, again, leadership trickles top down. So your executives can carry that weight. I always say Evelyn gets the call first. Samantha is now getting as well. Right. Logan now sees the back end side.
I didn't laugh because I'm saying like, oh yeah, so I'm laughing because I know how it went and I know that it was challenging. But I would say because of your leadership style and experience and how like I felt like it was a good year of feeling progress and feeling growth and knowing what the strategies were. Yeah, that's challenging too.
Yeah.
But not oh my God, this is awful way. It's like, my God, this stuff needs to get done. Let's freaking do it.
Yeah. Now I feel like when you get to 80, you start feeling the rewards from it. And that's like where I feel some freedom coming in. And I know freedom's like a pretty large word to use inside your business. But this year we worked to build freedom, to gain control, to really, and going into next year, really even refining that control for every individual person to understand where their buckets of time should be falling into, and clarifying expectations with clients when they need to push back, or we have our strategies implemented for kind of rising executives who are going to be duplicated and who've been shadowing. And that caused a massive amount of investment this year. And this is like probably this last lesson we can like end on.
Yeah.
People who are like, not right now, the complete opposites, right? There's always like these two polar opposite sides of the spectrum. When we meet that person in harmony in the middle, it feels so good. It's like, she gets it. They put in the work, they show up. It's like, we love working with people like that. I could call out so many. I don't know if it's Evelyn setting expectations in that demo call or what, but our new clients coming in are really in the center, showing up, putting the work in, seeing fast results because they are putting that in. But we do have these polar opposite kind of spectrum people.
The people who tend to say, oh, not right now. Yep, I get it, but I'll do it later. Okay, what's the cheapest way for me to chip away at like just a little bit fearful, I would say, of really diving in. Fair enough. Just like we said with all the other ones, we hear you, we see you, we understand, but let's also set the realistic expectation and spin this around a little bit.
Yeah, it's like your client coming to say, hey, can we do this entire new construction project and furnish with 20 hours? And then you're complaining when they're going to use AI or take the shortcuts or the mistakes happen or it's not working out perfectly or all the things. But no, just like you would tell that full service client that has, that's could be depending on the square footage of that home. Obviously, we don't go by square footage. I hate that I even said that.
But you could be looking at, you'll know what we mean.
You could be looking at $80,000 to $100,000 truly in design fees for true time, for full service, for huge projects like that. And it's just not simply possible. You cannot cheat time. You cannot cheat it. You have to show up inside of your business. Yes, there's what your business can afford. But if you're trying to punch the clock, then you've got to invest the dollars.
Mhm.
It is that pay to play mentality that we
Yeah.
also talk about in another episode, where there's just being realistic about how long something's going to take, how much you can invest, and setting that pace. There's
And
no
how much of
workaround.
it you feel you can own and do, because you
Yeah,
can trade dollars for time in that instance and say, okay, this is what I will own and
right.
I will deliver and I will bring back to you when it's ready. That's another way. We'll work
Yeah,
with you in whatever pace and whatever strategy
yeah,
we can stay consistent with. But if it's going to be a thing that falls off,
yeah. And
we got to look at
honestly,
that.
if you are working with any assistants, whether it's our assistants, your own assistants, and you are not working weekly or biweekly, fair enough, on your system of procedure and writing your processes down, you're failing yourself. Tough love, sorry, you are failing yourself, because if I could have learned that lesson sooner, it would have been the biggest gift to not be pumping over 100 hours a week towards creating processes and doing it at super speed, which PS was a year. Super speed was a year, people, with that much time really working with people, carving out leadership and roles. And yes, that's for a much bigger company, right? I don't want to scare you that is the hours you're committing. I'm saying 3 hours you invest into working with one of our executives a month to help you build this out appropriately, and even having your assistant carve out 1 hour a week themselves to continuing to document. One meeting a month with an executive to overview, enhance, comment, and then that executive meeting 30 minutes a week to meet with your assistant to keep pushing that strategy forward will be the best investment you have ever made. You will thank us. One, you'll thank us in a year, but you'll really thank us in 2 years when you go through an overturn patch, when you go through growth and you're like, holy, I get it. Thank you.
Yep.
Best investment
And
I
you'll
ever made.
avoid saying all those things. I went out of my business. I just need. No, you have your systems in place. You know what's your responsibility. You're thriving inside your day because you're doing the parts of your business that either are most fulfilling to you or actually need to be you. You'll stop saying, I need a job today. What's going on with marketing? Because we've laid down consistency and structure and you're doing your part in your networking game and in your hustling. You'll stop doing the they did this, she did that, because it's written down. All of it comes back together to these things that we hear that tend to be like, oof, okay, this is going to require a reset, can actually and truly be solved in this consistency of you working on your business, yourself as the leader, and we can absolutely help you with that. So if you get it and you're just not sure how to put it in place yet, that's what we're here for. So
Starts
please
with
let
you,
us
people.
know.
It starts with you. Everything starts with you and ends with you. Point that finger up, evaluate what's going on in the middle, document, which is where your protection is, and then swing that finger down, coach, and evaluate, is it really them or is it me and my leadership? And if you're the bottleneck, set that routine. You're having a hard time setting that routine, come take a 2-hour call. I will force you to commit to yourself next year to show up. If you want 2026 to be your year, schedule a call.
Yeah. And she will. And I can say that no one, I mean, when she really flicked this switch in her brain and found her routine that worked for her, like I will say, it was night and day. It has been a beautiful journey and progress to witness as your friend and as someone who works with you and just all around. So if you're like, damn, that sounds like exactly what I need, Shayna's the right person to hold your hand and walk that journey with you, because she just did it for herself and she looks freaking phenomenal. She's performing at the top of her game. So just a little love for you too, Shayna, since we're here.
Thanks, Ev. I'll take that. Good. Well, tough love to all y'all out there, but we love you. So if you're needing tough love, all the love in the world for you, come set a meeting with us. We'll talk it through. And yes, if you're coming for routine, I will, with all the love in the world, be forcing you to make commitments to yourself to make 2026 the absolute best freaking year of your life.
Yeah. You freaking got this.
You got it. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode. If there's one thing we hope you take away from this episode, it's that the finger needs to point up first. Before you blame your assistant, your client, or anyone else, take a hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, did I give them the tools? Did I document the process? Did I set clear expectations? Because here's the truth. Most of the chaos in your business is caused by you. And that's actually great news because you are the easiest thing to fix.
Remember, you cannot shortcut this journey. You can't just get out of your business and expect it to run without you. You can't just hire a team and magically have leads pouring in tomorrow. And you definitely can't skip the hard work of building your business foundation. Those 80 to 100 pages of documented systems of procedure that are your business. This takes time, consistency, and showing up at 70% even on your worst days. But if you commit to the routine, if you stop making excuses and start making progress, we promise you 1 year from now, you will be thanking yourself.
So here's your challenge for 2026. Create a routine in 3 buckets: self, business, and relationships. Block time every single week to work on your foundation. Commit to networking consistently. Document your processes as you go. Remember, if you want different results, you have to take different actions. And if you're sitting there thinking of all the reasons why this won't work for you, it's time for a reality check. You are the bottleneck. Take action.
And if you need help creating that routine, building those systems, or finally getting the leadership and accountability in place to make it all stick, we've got you. Whether you need help with assistant onboarding, systems documentation, or just someone to push you to commit to yourself, we can customize the support that works for your life and your business. Because this is not about perfection, it's about showing up consistently and making no excuses.
So, when you're ready to stop being the bottleneck and start building the business that actually supports your life, schedule a free call with us at fordesignerbusiness.com or check the link in the show notes. You can also leave us an anonymous voice note with your questions at fordesignerbusiness.com or in the show notes for this episode. We'd love to hear from you, and your question just might even be featured on a future episode.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please help us grow this community of amazing designers just like you by rating, reviewing, and subscribing wherever you listen. New episodes drop every Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe and get notified.
Remember, all of this might be tough, but it's tough love. We believe in you. Point that finger up. Evaluate what's going on, document it, and then coach your team. Everything starts with you and ends with you. So let's do this together. One routine, one system, and one commitment at a time.
Make no excuses, stay committed, and watch what happens when you finally show up for yourself and for your business. Until next time, keep designing and keep dreaming. Let's get it, babes.